So, any requests? Anything you want to make sure we do today? I think of certain classes of poses, and I am a lifelong procrastinator. Not really so good at meeting deadlines. Anyone else? Is this like a feature of ADHD? I'm like, this is the year I'm gonna like get tested for what are my neurodivergencies. I became a business owner because I knew I was unhireable. I was like a smart kid, but just couldn't conform. My name's Mariel. Welcome if there's new folks here. I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to everyone. I was just saying before we started streaming that tomorrow marks the beginning of the next 4 years, and the only way out is through. We've done it before. We can do it again, and I'm so glad that we can do it together. Just find places and moments of solidarity. What did you say? Oh, I thought you said just keep. I thought you said just keep singing. So as a procrastinator, I learned about the Lunar New Year. I don't know, maybe sometime in my 20s, and that's usually the time of year that I want to kind of have like my shit together for my vibe for the new year. The Lunar New Year changes every year because it's on a lunar calendar. It's connected to the Chinese zodiac. And so I always like to look at what the animal is for the year and the element for the year and kind of let that sort of inspire and invoke my intent for the year. I'm not quite clear on it yet. So the new year will be January 29th. Right now we're in the very end of the year of the dragon. And then are we going in? Does anyone know? Is it the wood snake? It's the snake. Does anyone know the element? Okay, I think it's the wood snake. I'll know for next week. Homework. And that the snake in the yoga tradition, there's so many snake characters in the yoga tradition. Many, many, many. And in one of my favorite versions, there's a goddess whose name is Ahi, one of the forms of Durga, of Kali, of the great goddess. And this version of Ahi, she has her back turned on she's got her back turned on the world, and she's facing a field of nagas, of serpents. And her name means angst or anxiety. And that when we turn to like face the shadow, kind of the ways that energy like spirals and moves within us, the interior landscape, the shadowy parts, that we are often in a state of ahi, of anxiety. And I think that there is just so much anxiety in the world and in every one of us. And anxiety as we look ahead, right? And that this isn't a feature that needs to be rejected, ignored, denied, deleted, that this is the goddess that faces the shadow, and that like when she returns to the world, she turns the corner, she looks almost exactly like Shiva in his form as the seated teacher, which is known as Dakshinamurti. So it's like when she comes back from that shadowy place, it almost reminds me of the story of, it reminds me of the story of Shiva, that after the dance he takes the seat and he teaches, he becomes the seated teacher. Hi. And that after the Buddha has enlightenment, which is also like, again, like the serpents. Does anyone know that story of the Buddha having enlightenment when the cobra like comes and like protects the Buddha as he sits there and faces Maya and like battles the demons of illusion? And then after that, he's ready to teach the Dharma, and the serpent's like the protector. That the anxiety in some ways is like our protector, and then we face it, and rather than turning away from the world, after having faced her anxiety, she turns towards the world. So just that constant reminder that in a yoga, we're going to do physical yoga for the new folks, I promise, but like above and beyond all, this is a spiritual practice, a spiritual path that has as one of its strategies the affirmation and celebration of physical embodiment as a gateway, if you will, to directly experience the divine, to directly experience the flow of spirit in you, as you, through you. I am on a tangent. Um, what was I saying? Does anyone know? That's fine. The serpent. We wear our serpent energy on the inside. So like her turning her back towards the world is her facing the interior landscape, the inner serpents. Shiva, if you ever look closely, he wears his serpents, which is Kundalini. That's the goddess. He wears this energy on the outside. We wear ours on the inside. And so the practice of yoga is this gesture of turning inward to face, to embrace, to embody and affirm all aspects of ourselves, all aspects, to integrate all aspects of ourselves, not to deny or reject our fears or uncertainty or anxiety, but to actually integrate the wisdom of this energy, not so that it governs us or dictates us, but so that it motivates us and inspires us. And now I'm coming back. So my dear friend Ajua has a Substack. I think it's called Shaky Ground, and I shared this on Wednesday night, and it was well received, so I wanted to share it with you today. Again, it's on Substack. I love her to bits. Her name is Ajua Fisher. She used to be an editor at Be Well Philly, and now she's the founder and co-owner of Reap Wellness up in Fishtown. They have a mini mart and a meal subscription thing, plant-based, delicious, yummy, yummy, yummy. She's yummy, yummy, yummy. And on her Substack, and this connects to some of the inquiry of our yoga tradition, she talks about a journaling practice where she starts with, how do I want to feel today? How do I want to feel today? So knowing, like, how you are feeling, like, how do you want to feel? And I think this is so inspiring for how we set our intention for the year of the serpent. How do I feel? How do I want to feel? And what are three actionable things you can do in order to feel that way? And so that's what she had written in her Substack. And this is like just such a mirror of our inquiry in our yoga tradition, which just adds, and tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day, National Day of Service, of what value is how I want to feel in service to something greater than just myself. So if we all just succumb to like our uncertainty and our anxiety and our fear for what's ahead, we're not necessarily in service to something greater. But if we own it, embrace it, embody it, and let it like motivate us through, then we're in service to something greater. Like, let's just be anxious together. Okay. We're gonna center, and then I'm gonna pass it off to Melissa to hear her teach some warm-ups. She's been assisting for how long now? How long have we been together like this? A long time. Yeah, it's time. The other teacher's like, she's not teaching yet, so I take my time. So Melissa will teach some warm-ups, and then she'll pass it back to me. Camden's on the mat for folks at home, as well as anyone in the room who doesn't know what the hell I just said. That happens a lot. Look at Camden. She deciphers. The great decipherer. Make yourself as comfortable as humanly possible. Notice where you are and how you are. Notice where you are and how you are. So one of my, I don't know the quote exactly. I feel like there's so many bits and pieces of Martin Luther King quotes and speeches and letters that float around in my head. But one of the things that just resonates so deeply these past couple of years is how he would talk about how we need leaders who love humanity. Leaders who love humanity. And I think such a vital part of our practice is cultivating, engendering, new word, engendering more of this love, bless you, love for humanity within ourselves. So do you feel love for humanity? Can you feel more love for humanity? And what are some things we could do to feel more love for humanity? The entire physical practice of yoga is first and foremost in service to the breath, to the gift of life that fills us, surrounds us, and connects us from heart to heart. The gift of each breath in ignites the heart. The splendor of the heart then has an opportunity to inform, illuminate, and inspire the mind and the body. And as we exhale, this indwelling light has an opportunity to emanate from inside out, far and wide. So your breath moving in this way, a deep inhale, take the breath in and down into your seat, into your ground of being. Let it fill you up to your crown, igniting the heart. And as you exhale, allow the light of the heart to emanate from inside out, illuminating every fiber of your being and radiating far, far beyond the surface of your skin. As you deepen the breath, feel how naturally your breath deepens you, deepens your connection inward. And as the breath flows into the heart and the heart ignites, therein resides the voice of the true teacher, always present, intrinsically peaceful, utterly powerful, the source of supreme love and divine wisdom, never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. And on our next inhalation, bring the hands together before the heart in Anjali Mudra. It's a gesture of sincere self-reverence that acknowledges and honors the voice of the true teacher, which is never further than your heart, which is never further than your breath. And a gesture that places this aspect of ourselves before us as a guide for at least the time we spend together. And together we'll set the tone for our practice today by sharing the voices of our hearts and the sound of an Om. Feel free to join in to our collective sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. Bow to your heart. And as best you can, keeping this connection inward unwavering, gently blink open the eyes and come into child's pose. Take your time. In child's pose, the feet are pointed and the big toes touch and the knees are wide apart. And then you stretch your arms out overhead.
Take a moment to find yourself on the mat here. Now let's add a side stretch. Walk your right hand 2 to 3 handprints off to the right. Stack your left hand on top and send your hips back towards your heels. Think about gluing the left sits bone down towards your heels as you stretch from hip to wrist. Walk your hands back through center, and let's take it to the other side. Left hand walks 2 to 3 handprints off to the left. Stack your hands and send your hips back. Glue that right sits bone down towards your heels, and notice any difference from side to side. Walk your hands back through center and let's come back to child's pose. So arms are extended overhead. From here, let's ground down through the fingertips. Claw your hands down into the mat and begin to light up through the arms. Begin to hug your inner arms, your biceps towards each other. And think about connecting the heads of the arm bones into the shoulder socket. From here, on an inhale, press down through your hands, and exhale, lift yourself up to tabletop position. Let's meet in all fours. So wrists are underneath shoulders and knees are an inch or so behind your hips. Now everyone look down at your hands. The tendency here is for your hands to turn inward towards each other. Can you dial your fingertips out towards the mat's edges so your pointer fingers are parallel to one another? Press down through the hands and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Breathe space underneath your armpits. Now on an exhale, the pelvis dips, gaze lifts for cow pose. Inhale, press down through the hands and round the spine for cat. Exhale, release the belly and look up. Flow through your cow and cat for 3 more full rounds of breath to the pace of your breath rather than my voice. At the end of your next exhale, feel free to bring in any organic movements that might feel right for you, which could look like swiveling out through the hips, shifting your body forward, backward, side to side. But continue to send breath to those spaces that can't be seen, but can be felt. On an exhale, come forward, back to table. From here, let's come into a calf stretch. Extend your right leg long behind you, and from the ball of your foot, begin to slowly rock back and forth. Now, my tendency here is for my chest to drop and my head to drop. Can you keep your heart proud and press the back of your head up towards the ceiling? On an exhale, bring both knees back to table, and let's take it to the other side. Extend the left leg long and slowly rock forward and backward to get into the back of the leg. Notice if your head drops. Can you slide it back like you're pressing into a headrest? Now on an exhale, stay here. Let's bring your right foot back to meet the left and meet in a high plank position. We'll be here for a beat. So shoulders are on top of wrists and feet are hips width distance. Now can you press your hands down and away from you and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears? Now from here, bend the knees and inhale, send your hips up and back to downward facing dog. Exhale to pedal it out here through the backs of the legs. Now again, everyone look at your hands and claw your fingertips down into the mat. Press the inner edges of your hands down. Spread your fingers. Now keep that as you press your hands down, so much so that you feel your armpits hollow out underneath you. And your hips go up and back to where the ceiling and the wall meet behind you. On an exhale, come to stillness. Inhale, bend the knees deep. Exhale, step it up to the top of the mat and forward, fold over your legs. Bring your hands to blocks or the mat beneath you. Feet are as wide as hips width distance and parallel to one another, so all 10 toes face the top of the mat. I'll talk you through our first sun salutation. Inhale, come up to stand. Arms lift, gaze lifts, reach up, look up. Exhale, hinge from your hips, forward fold over your legs. Fingertips to blocks or the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Neutral spine, gaze looks forward, exhale, forward fold. Plant your hands, meet me in a high plank position. We'll stay here for a beat. Press your hands down and away from you. Shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Hug your thighs together like you're squeezing a block between them. Now on an exhale, lower down, knees, chest, chin, legs long behind you, toes flat to the mat. Bring your hands wide towards the mat's edges. Inhale to hug your shoulder blades together and curl up for baby cobra. Take 2 breaths here. And on your exhale, lower it back down. Inhale to press yourself up through plank, and exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Pedal it out through the backs of the legs. Press down through your hands to lift through the hips and extend through the backs of your legs. On an exhale, come to stillness. We'll come into some standing poses. Inhale, the right foot lifts up and back. Exhale, step it through to low lunge. Inhale, reach up to high crescent lunge, Virabhadrasana 1, and exhale, let your front thigh descend. Look down at your feet, and if your feet feel really narrow, walk your right foot wider towards the mat's edges. Be resourceful. Give yourself plenty of space here. Now think straight and strong through the back leg. Lift your back heel, back knee, and back thigh higher. Reach up through the fingertips. Slide the head back. Now inhale to reach up, look up, and exhale, hands lower down to frame the front foot. Step it back to downward facing dog. Take a moment here in down dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, the left foot lifts up and back. Exhale, step it through to low lunge. Inhale, reach up, high crescent lunge. Exhale, front thigh is heavy. Think about the back leg. Imagine that your back foot is in a Barbie heel. So your heel is high, parallel almost to the ceiling. Inhale to reach up through the fingertips, and then exhale, hands lower down to frame the front foot. Step it back to downward facing dog. From down dog, you can stay here, or inhale, shift forward to plank. Exhale, lower down halfway. Inhale, curl up to cobra. And exhale, lower it back down. Inhale, press yourself up through plank, and exhale, take it back to downward facing dog.
Girl, yes, trained at Three Queens Yoga. Thank you for your patience with me.
That was awesome. So proud. Proud mama moment. Find your breath. Notice how you feel, what you feel, where you feel it. Recall how it is you want to feel. What do you want to feel more? On your inhale, float the right leg high to the sky. As you exhale, step it through to lunge. Spin your back heel to the earth and bring your right fingertips to a block inside your right foot. Bring your left hand to your hip. Find a point of connection between your outer arm above your elbow and your inner thigh right above your knee. Bend your front leg to square. So get your knee all the way over your ankle. Yep. Knee and toes point straight ahead, and if the top of your front thigh is higher than your knee, walk your back foot back and bend deeper. That's not for everyone. Like, just use the light of awareness via your eyes to see. Now, as you inhale, pull your feet towards each other and press your leg into your arm. And as you exhale, press your arm into your leg 10 times more. The leg is sort of pushing that right shoulder forward. Take the right shoulder back as you press the arm into the leg. And from the right waistline, turn your center towards the sky and reach your left arm overhead. Reach past your left fingertips. And notice if you push through your back leg and foot more? Can you reach out through the fingertips more? One more breath. Press arm into leg. Bend deeper. Now reach the left arm to the sky. Take your block up a notch. Push your front leg straight and slide the block so it's more in line with your knee. Slide the block back towards your knee. And once again, find a point of connection between your arm above your elbow and your thigh above your knee. Press arm into leg and leg into arm. Push more through the inner edge of your front foot. And as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. As you exhale, press leg into arm, arm into leg, lean back, turn open. On your next inhale, pull the feet towards each other and reach up and back to standing. Bend the front leg to square. Reach back through the left fingertips. Pull your torso back to center and bend 2 more inches. Squeeze the front heel in as you guide the front knee open. And on the exhale, windmill the arms to lunge and step it back to downward dog. Now, it's in particular that action of pressing yourself into yourself that creates a deeper opening in that right hip. And perhaps now, having opened that right hip a bit more, notice the difference you feel between your legs from side to side. Like, does the right leg maybe feel longer and or more grounded or spacious or open? Notice what you feel and what it is you want to feel more of. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground. Bring the block inside the foot. Maybe like more in line with the heel if that helps, rather than the toes. Bring your right hand to your hip and find a point of connection between the outer arm and the inner thigh. And as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. Press the leg into the arm. And then pin your bottom shoulder back. And as you exhale, use that left arm to open the knee more to the left. Lean back on your shoulder blades. And when you're ready, reach the right arm overhead towards the front of the room. Find your breath and linking breath and action as you inhale. Pull the feet towards each other. Feel the strength of your legs activate. And then you tie the strength into your opening as you exhale. Press arm into leg, leg into arm, bend deeper, turn open. Push through the back foot as you reach beyond your right fingertips. Push the front leg straight, reach the right arm to the sky, come into triangle pose. Slide the block back in line with the knee so that you can keep snapping the outer arm and the inner thigh together. And that connection you make to yourself, and it's kind of awkward, I know, but if you can sort of find a place, a point of connection between the outer arm and the inner leg, and really push arm into leg and leg into arm, notice if and how and where that refers your awareness. My hope is like deeper into the left hip in particular. Press arm into leg, leg into arm, and use that connection to turn open more. Gorgeous. As you inhale, pull the feet towards each other, legs strong. Inhale, reach up and back to standing. Bend the front leg to square. And reach back as though you can hold on to the hand of the person behind you. And as you bind yourself to the person behind you, you can't see them, but you know they're there. Notice if you can bend the front leg deeper. That's solidarity. Touch the floor, downward facing dog. Feel the presence of those around you as we move and breathe together. Inhale to plank, claw the fingertips. You can take your feet a little bit wider and lift your knees and thighs to the sky. So there's like all these buggies going around, and like one of the key things is hand washing. We got really good at that a couple years ago, but I feel like maybe we've lost it. So I'm thinking we'll hold our planks for as long as we should be washing our hands. Lift the knees and thighs higher, press the hands down and forward. This long, we're supposed to be washing our hands. Exhale, bend your elbows lower in the style of U towards the earth. Inhale for cobra. Follow your breath. Press down through the tops of the feet so much you feel the knees and thighs lift. Hug your feet towards each other. Claw your fingertips towards your feet. Slide the shoulders back. the head back. Keep breathing. We're still hand washing here in Cobra. Notice what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. Push your hands down more and back more. One more of the slowest, deepest breaths. And on your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. Locate your strap and pivot your feet to the left for the wide-legged forward fold. And then take the hands behind the hips, strap between the hands. Palms face the sky, and the hands can be like hips width apart to start. And then the key is to get the shoulder blades to join together on the upper back. And if you can't quite find or feel that, you got to take your hands wider apart. If that feels easy, keeping the shoulder blades together, bring your hands closer together. And as you exhale, let the head get heavy, let the arms get heavy overhead. Put an ever so micro bend in your knees and elbows, bends that can't be seen but can be felt. Keep that heels ground down, tip into the balls of your feet more. Even more, Elizabeth, if it feels okay, the balls of your feet. And as you pull the feet towards each other, pull your hands apart. Throat open, eyes soft, face soft. On your exhale, release the strap. Turn the right knee and toes through lunge. Keep the strap handy. And step it back to downward facing dog. Oops, that was me. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. As you exhale, catch your lunge. Pivot your feet to the right for the wide-legged forward fold. If you love the shoulder stretch, have yourself another one. Totally up to you, or keep fingertips to the floor or blocks here. So shoulder stretch or bust. You can also have fingertips to the floor or blocks. And then in this one, we're just going to gently push through the left leg and bend into the right knee until you feel a stretch in the inner left thigh. We there? Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Push through the right leg to bend into the left leg until you find and feel a stretch, an opening in the inner right thigh. Push through the left leg, fold right down the middle. Turn the left knee and toes through lunge and take it back to downward facing dog. Find your breath. And riding the breath as you inhale, find plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana in the style of you. Inhale for Cobra. Follow your breath, not my voice. The exhale carries you to downward dog. Press more through the inner edges of your hands. Inhale to plank. Follow your breath. Ride it through. With the exhale, lower. The inhale takes you through to Cobra. And your exhale carries you to downward dog. So those two linking vinyasas was about 30 seconds, just for hand washing notation. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. On your inhale, reach up, stretch up, crescent lunge. Feel both feet on the ground, find your breath. On your exhale, take a big step forward to balance on your right foot. Cross your left ankle over your left thigh and sit deep into pigeon chair. I also recently noticed this is the form that Shiva takes as the seated teacher, and the same form as the goddess after she turns the corner from facing her serpents, her anxiety. Sit a little deeper. As you inhale, stand tall. With your left hand, find your left foot behind you. As you inhale, zip that left knee to the midline. Keep the left knee right at the midline. As you hinge forward, reach your heart forward, kick your foot back. The inhale hugs the back knee to the midline. Turn your back toes out, turn the back foot out, and as you exhale, kick your foot into your hand. Slow motion, big step back with the left foot to the back of your mat. Both feet on the ground, big breath in. As you exhale, gorgeous, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Pedal the feet a little bit from side to side. Oh, sorry, friends at home. I don't even know what that must sound like. The sound of me just mic dropping left and right. On your inhale, float the left leg high to the sky. As you exhale, catch your lunge. As you inhale, follow your breath, please. Reach up, stretch up, crescent lunge. As you exhale, big step forward to balance on your left foot. Left knee and toes point straight ahead. So feel free to touch down with those right toes and take that left heel wider than you think. And then without moving the left heel, squeeze the left heel in. And that's going to fire up some deeper core muscles in your left hip that help to stabilize you. Now cross your right ankle over your left thigh and take your butt back and down like you're reaching back for an imaginary preschool chair. You can reach forward as you hinge back for counterbalance. If you feel steady, head back, take your biceps back to your ears. Sit a little deeper. Inhale, rise up. With your right hand, find your right foot behind you. Zip that right knee to the midline. Activate your right foot. Connect to your foot. Turn your right foot out as you hug the right knee in. And then keeping that micro bend in the left leg can't be seen but can be felt. There's an openness there that can be felt. As you hinge forward, heart forward, kick your foot back into your hand. Everyone hug your back knee to the midline, so much more. Zip that back leg to your midline, to your power. Then reach back with the leg, step back with the leg. Feel both feet on the ground as you reach up and out from the depths of your being. Reach through and past your fingertips. Awesome. Exhale, plant the hands. Downward dog. We warmish. Find your breath. Inhale to plank. Follow your breath. Exhale to lower in the style of you. Inhale for cobra. Exhale for downward dog. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, catch your lunge. On your inhale, actually, let's wear our strap like a boa, the way Shiva wears his serpent energy on the outside, like a boa. I don't know. I don't know what's gotten into me today. I think I didn't sleep last night. We're going to take a big step forward and up to balance on the right foot. The strap is handy now. You're going to take the strap across the ball of your right foot. Left foot. Take both sides of the strap into your left hand. Right hand to the hip or right arm out to the side for counterbalance. Make sure your standing leg isn't locked. And maybe even can you scooch your right heel a little more to the right and then squeeze the right heel in. Feel your butt cheek smile. Take your left leg out to the left, like triangle pose standing on one foot. If you get a little stuck, you can hinge forward a little bit to take your butt back, turn your left toes in, and then come more upright, turn your left toes up. Inhale the leg to center. Keep the leg lifted, straight, and strong. Take sides of the strap in each hand. Draw the shoulders up and back. Notice if shoulders up and back helps to lift the leg. Keep it right there as you wear your strap like a boa and step it back to lunge. Feel both feet on the ground. Big breath in. Exhale, plant the hands, downward facing dog. So the strap is a tool here that helps us bind ourselves to ourselves. I find those poses some of the most challenging in the yoga pose canon. They're considered basic poses. I think that they're some of the hardest. It's called Hasta Padangustasana, hand to foot pose. On your inhale, float the left foot to the sky. Exhale, catch the lunge. As you inhale, reach forward and up, crescent. Pause here, and can you take your left heel wider and then squeeze the left heel in? Guide the inner knee more open. Feel how that like turns on the whole left leg more? As you exhale, big step forward to balance on your left foot. Take the strap across the ball of your right foot. Hold as close to the foot on the strap as you can. And then give yourself as much slack as you need to draw the shoulders up and back, and then push the leg straight like you're pushing the foot through the strap. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. Notice the feelings that are obvious, and then recall what it is you want to feel more of here in this challenging place. Take both sides of the strap in the right hand and open the leg out to the right. Right at your edge, if you have this ability, it's a big if, hinge forward, think heart forward, pubic bone back. You can turn the whole right leg in. Keep that as you stand back up, turn your right knee and toes to the sky. Notice if you got a little deeper. Inhale the leg to center. Draw the shoulders up and back. Feel if that helps to lift the leg higher. Keep the leg lifted straight and strong. Strap comes back around you like a boa. Big step back to lunge. Feel both feet on the ground. Huge breath in. Exhale, plant the hands. Downward facing dog. I'm thinking sequentially a child's pose might be the source of my redemption. Down dog or child's pose. Linking vinyasa if you prefer. Questions, comments, concerns, conundrums? So one of the, could sit back on your heels for a moment. One of the hardest things to effectively do in that pose, and it's true of that pose in any angle of vision, whether we're laying on our back or standing in triangle or any of these poses, is to effectively open the hips in order to fully get into the legs. And without doing, I know for me, like there's this kind of, I feel kind of stuck. And when I feel stuck, I don't feel grounded, I don't feel steady, I don't feel secure. And then I think one of the reasons I sort of physio-spiritually loved yoga so much is that in opening my hips, it did help to ground me and sort of tether me to material reality, where I know we come in varieties on the inside as much as the outside. There's more about us that is the same than different, but the differences matter. Like I tend to dissociate, transcend, check out. It's like my super skill. So getting into my hips really helped to like ground me and stay present in material reality. So that's why it's this weird cue, and we could even like, I'm wondering if we could take it to a wall, or we could do it like in, with both feet on the ground again. I think it'll help if I just shed a layer for a moment, except that the mic is attached here. Sorry about this shitty mic situation to folks at home. I don't know it's taking so long to get the new one. So some things, like you just got to make sure you have a good foundation. And the good news is that on the mat, like you have everything you need to take responsibility for your foundation. So a lot of time the tendency is for like the foot to turn out the leg to lock. So when I step through to lunge, the first thing I want to do is actually take the heel a little wider and squeeze the heel in. Could you feel that all the way up into your butt? Like when you think of your core muscles, it's not just like this. Like we have core muscles in every region of the body, and you want your butt muscles to help stabilize you here. So I'll step forward. I have no idea if I'm in the frame. Lasso the foot. And the tendency is usually for this to happen. And when this happens, this thigh bone is popping forward in the hip socket, and I'm very wobbly. I've been doing yoga a long time, so I can hold the wobbly, but this is a very wobbly place. So if I actually give myself a little bit more slack and lean forward a little bit, I can get this thigh back. Can you see that? Thigh back and then shoulders back. Same pose, but can you see the difference? As I wobble. Okay, you got to receive the wobble too. We talked about that on Wednesday, that if you reject, deny, try to eliminate the wobble, the instability, you're down for the count. The more you receive the instability, the more stable you will become. When you feel unstable, just make it a dance, and if you come out, make that part of the dance, okay? And so here I am, and now check it out. If I take the leg to the side, I get stuck right about there. When I hinge forward, and then I come back in, I opened my hips. Can you see the difference now as I wobble? Do, do, do. Leg on fire for sure. But the real key thing, even if it's not for that long, and also like gaze, like a soft gaze on an unmoving spot on the floor out in front of you, not like looking around the room like I am. If I go, and the leg can be bent too, by the way, if your hamstrings aren't participating. I hinge forward, and then I come back in, and it's so much deeper. If you're near a wall, use the wall for support. It's just like a little sneaky way in. You need just enough stability to get in there. You don't need to be stable. You need to receive the instability to get just stable enough to find a deeper opening. We'll try it. Find your breath. And like, even if it looks like stillness, like this looks like stillness, this is a dance. This is a wild dance. This is like in the club, you take the camera overhead and catch a snapshot. This is that. So really, if it's very dynamic, very unstable, just make it a dance. Breathe, receive the dynamic energy of the serpent energy inside you. We'll meet in downward dog. Also, the reminder that when you bind yourself to yourself, the strap is the tool, to notice both how it makes you feel and to remember what it is you want to feel more of. To hold both. Not that the thing that you want to feel replaces the way that you feel, but that there is room enough to feel what you're feeling and so much more. Find your breath, breath to heart, heart to mind, mind to body. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step it through to lunge. Find your strap if you've lost it. Yep. And right here, just bring both hands to the front thigh. Lean forward into your front heel. Take your front heel a little wider, and then energetically, without moving it, squeeze the right heel in and guide the right knee open. Feel that as you take a big step forward, balancing on that right heel. Squeeze the right heel in. Lasso your left foot in the strap. And then lean forward a little bit to get the top of the right thigh back. Think butt towards the back of the room, and then give yourself as much slack as you need now to take your shoulders up and back. And now push your foot through the strap. Spread the toes. You can hinge forward a little bit to take your butt back. That's opening the hips. Keep that as you take the shoulders up and back to open the heart. Take both sides of the strap in the left hand. Open the left leg out to the left. Turn your left knee and toes towards the front of the room. Hinge forward. Yes. Good. And now anchor down through your tailbone to stand up tall. Turn your left knee and toes back to the sky. Nice, Elizabeth. Bring the leg back through center. Notice if that was different. Maybe, maybe not. And then take a big step back to lunge. Huge breath in when you have both feet on the ground. Bless you. Exhale, plant your hands, downward facing dog. Lower the knees down, sit back on your heels. Insights, comments, questions before we do the second side? Much better? Yeah. Like, so many things come up for me in that pose, like what to do, how do I want to be in the face of imbalance, which is so much in the world, like so much in our lives as householders. Like, what is balance? And I think we need to maybe redefine it in ways that are actually meaningful to us. What is success or greatness or strength or softness? It's like, what is it that you want to feel more of, and what does that mean to you? And I think therein lies the way in which it's in service to something greater, the ways in which we redefine our state of being and feeling in ways that are more meaningful to those around us. Downward dog. To be mindful of the tendencies, frustration and anxiety can be so powerful, so dominant. They're necessary energies, but they need not dominate. They need not have power over. On your inhale, float your left leg to the sky. Flow with your breath, with the gift of life. As you exhale, catch your lunge. Bring both hands to the front thigh. We're going to tap into our strength, the source of our stability, and the fibers of our muscles and body. Take your left heel wider. Squeeze the left heel in as you guide the left knee open. Hold that as you take a big step forward. Lean forward, bow forward to take the strap around the ball of your right foot. Unlock the knee. Unlock. Just unlock. Keep it all unlocked. Lean forward. Think butt back. And then give yourself just as much slack as you need to draw the shoulders up and back. You stack yourself in and around the power of your center. Then as an extension of your center, an expansion of your center, push your foot towards the front of the room. Take both sides of the strap in the right hand. Open the right leg out to the right. And don't go past your edge. Stay right inside your edge. And right there, spin the right leg in. Hinge forward, think butt back. And then spin the right leg up. Stand tall. Notice if you're in there a little deeper. Bring the leg back through center. One more breath. A deep breath, a full breath. Gorgeous. And as you exhale, step back to lunge. Huge breath in, both feet on the ground. And with your exhale, take it back to downward facing dog. Inhale to plank. Exhale to lower in the style of you. Inhale for a cobra, cobra dog, up dog if you feel ready. Exhale to lower. Prop yourself up on your left forearm, and with your right hand, find your right foot. Press the right knee down. And draw the inner right heel to the outer right hip. If you want more, slide your right forearm in to lift yourself up higher. And as you press your left forearm down and in, draw your bottom ribs up and back. And as you draw your bottom ribs up and back, press your right knee down and hug it to the midline. One more breath here. Kick your foot back into your hand until you feel a stretch in your shoulder. And release. Prop yourself on your right forearm, bend your left leg, and with your left hand, find your left foot. Hug your left knee to the midline. Press the left knee down. If you want more, slide your right forearm in to prop yourself up higher. And as you press your right forearm down and in, draw your bottom ribs up and back. And as you draw the rib cage up and back, press the left knee down and in to the midline. And one more breath. Kick the foot back into the hand. Kick the left foot back, back, back to straighten the left arm, to draw the left shoulder up and back. And release. Make a pillow with your hands. Enjoy the breath, feel the breath in the back and sides of your waist. Let's meet back in downward facing dog. One of the ways in which I love to define and imagine fluency in yoga, one of the many ways, is in good taste. Making things, having things be in good taste. Having said that, the following poses kind of taste like shit. And so it's up to you. And again, this is why I always say action over form, to explore the ways, experiment with the ways in which you can make something that tastes bad be in good taste. On your inhale, float the right leg to the sky. As you exhale, catch your lunge and spin the back heel to the ground. Locate your strap and hold your strap in your left hand and bring your left hand to your hip. And even bring the left hand above the hip, right to the waist actually, right to the waist, above the hip. We're gonna bow, sort of fold inside your front leg. And as you fold inside your front leg, make sure your back leg isn't locked. Front knee and toes point straight ahead and take your butt back. And as you take your butt back, reach your right arm underneath your right leg, palm down to start, and then press your arm above your elbow into the back of your knee. Does that make sense? So your arm above your elbow sort of pressing into your calf. Keep that and flip your palm up, and now bend your elbow and try to guide the back of your hand to the back of your waist above your hip. That's why you have to stay close to your knee. To the back of your waist above your hip, and feed the strap in your left hand into your right hand. Pause there, find your breath. As you inhale, pull the feet towards each other, feel the strength of your legs, legs strong. As you exhale, lean back on your shoulder blades, press leg into arm, arm into leg, maybe even pull the strap apart a little bit as you lean back. Can stay right here or back it out. If you want more, push your front leg straight like triangle. Look at your front foot, see that your front knee and toes point straight ahead, and then lean back on your shoulder blades. It's called Baddha Trikonasana. We're binding ourselves to ourselves. How do you feel? How do you want to feel? Bind yourself to yourself. Bend the front leg, look at your front foot. Heel toe your back foot in until you can start to shift your weight into your right foot and step forward, left foot next to the right foot. Shift your weight into your left foot, lift your right heel, flex your right foot, and stand up tall. Draw the right shoulder up and back. Press arm into leg, leg into arm if you feel steady. From the power of your center, root down through your left leg as you extend through your right leg. It's called Bird of Paradise. Bend the right leg, hinge forward. Step the right foot down. Let's unbind rather than rewind it all. Unbind. Fold over your legs, bow to your heart. Fold over your legs, bow to your heart. Receive yourself as you are, where you are, breath and all. As you inhale, get long through the spine. As you exhale, fold, step it back to downward facing dog. Still friends, right? Can lower the knees down when you're ready and just check in with ourselves and each other. Comments, questions, concerns, conundrums? What the hell just happened? That'll be us in 4 years. We'll just be what the hell just happened? And the good news is, I'm sure this is true in like many of your communities out there in the world, and if not, like just think about the communities you're in and how you want to feel, how they make you feel. But this community is solely what has kept me going through lost elections and pandemics and reckonings and social media catastrophes and another loss, and just like the recognition of the true greatness in those all around you. We have to be in service to those who may not be okay, but like just in the context of this community, we are so well supported. We'll have everything we need within each other. So if something's happening, like turn to your community. We have resources here, this community. Downward dog. The next side is gonna be hard. It might even be harder. Don't make it harder than it has to be. So key, don't make it harder than it has to be. And remember that first and foremost, everything we do on these yoga mats is in service to the breath. And for sure, the poses are metaphors for life. So they're sort of by design a strategy to sort of pull us out of center, to unground us. And our work in the pose is to stay grounded and centered and open. Our work in the challenging poses is to stay grounded and centered and open at all cost. On your inhale, float the left leg to the sky. Exhale to catch your lunge. Spin the back heel to the ground. We'll take the strap into the right hand with the right hand above the hip at the waist. And draw that right shoulder up and back as though you could glue the right shoulder blade to the spine. Even as you bow inside your front leg, thread the left arm underneath the left leg and really try to press the arm above the elbow into the back of the knee, into the calf muscles. Then flip the palm up, and as you press arm into leg, bend the elbow and try to slide the left hand, the back of the left hand, above the butt, above the hip to the back of the waist. Thread the strap in the right hand into the left hand. And then as you bend into the front leg, inhale to pull the feet towards each other. Exhale to lean back on your shoulder blades. Can you stay grounded, centered, and open? If you want more big if, as you inhale, pull the feet towards each other. As you exhale, push your front leg straight for a triangle variation, staying bound to your groundedness, centeredness, openness. Look at your front foot, bend your front leg, heel toe your back foot in, scooch it, take many little steps, and then when you can feel the weight in your left foot, step your right foot next to your left foot, bend the right leg, shift your weight into your right foot, lift the left heel, flex the left foot, and stand up tall. Draw your shoulders back, keep your left foot active. Squeeze the right heel in as you draw the shoulders up and back. If you feel steady, from the power of your grounded center, open the left leg, extend the left leg. Stand your ground with beauty, luminosity, grace. As you are where you are, you stand your ground, all twisted, bound, all whatever. And then rewind, left foot to the ground, release the strap, fold over your legs, bow to your heart. Bow to your heart. As sincerely as humanly possible, bow to your heart, to the source of supreme love, divine wisdom, to the source of our love for humanity. We bow. As you inhale, get long through the spine. As you exhale, fold, bend the legs, plant the hands, step back to downward facing dog. Pedal out the feet in downward dog. Notice what you feel, how it feels, where you feel it. Recall what it is in your heart of hearts you want to feel more of today, tomorrow, the day after. And of what service is that feeling? We call it bhav in Sanskrit, B-H-A-V. It's a feeling, it's a tone, and it becomes a vibe. How is that in service to something greater than just yourself? Lower the knees, find child's pose, point the feet, big toes touch, knees wide apart. Can be here. You can make a pillow with your hands. You can walk your hands to the right as far as you can, and then place the right hand on top of the left hand and breathe into the left side body. You can walk your hands then to the left as far as you can to the left, reach to the left, and place your left palm on top of your right palm. And breathe into the right side body. If child's pose doesn't suit you, find a form that does, full pranam, or we'll catch up with you as we make our way onto our backs if you prefer. And wherever you are, however you choose to be, can you look for the breath, feel the breath in the back and sides of your waist. If you're to the left, find your way to the center. Come on to your belly and roll on to your back. Have your strap handy. So it's like the same pose that can be so, dare I say, triggering, standing, balancing on one foot, can be so yummy when we're laying on our backs. It's just the reminder that it's so much about perspective. As you make your way onto your back, find your strap. Stretch your left leg out long and press your left heel, knee, and thigh into the ground. Bend your right leg in and take the strap across the ball of your right foot. You got long legs, so you might want to scooch to the very edge of your mat, even off if you want. Press the left heel, knee, and thigh towards the earth. Hold as close to your foot as you can. You can even, just like we did standing, you can sort of lift your head and shoulders up, sort of bowing in. You can even bend your right leg to hold closer to your foot. And now keeping that, give yourself just as much slack as you need to rest your shoulders and head back on the ground. And now push your foot into the strap to straighten the legs. Does that feel a little deeper? More bound to yourself, more centered and grounded. And that creates a deeper opening. It's so cool how it just works. Take both sides of the strap in your right hand, and open the right leg out to the right. Try to push through the strap. And the tendency is everything sort of tips to the right. Oy vey. Anchor, sorry. I keep saying, okay, this is the year I'm trying to leave more of that at the door. I'm sucking at it. Press the left heel, knee, and thigh to the ground. Yes, ground through the left side. Even think like twist your torso to the left. Try to like tie your bottom right rib cage towards your left hip and pin the left shoulder down. And now push through the right foot. Inhale the leg through center. Take both sides of the strap in the left hand in slow motion. The right leg traverses the midline. It reaches all the way over to the left. You can roll onto the outer edge of your left leg here. No, you're fine. And you could even like sort of scooch your bottom leg more to the right. Bend your bottom leg. This is an invitation, not an obligation. And with your right hand, you can find your left foot. For Supta Parivrtta Ardha Chandra Chapasana. I did not make that up. Reclined, revolved sugar cane in the moonlight. That no matter what is going on, there is always sweetness and moonlight. the sweetness of the moonlight. Release the bottom foot first. And then rather than the effort of like hoisting the right leg up through center, just give slack to the strap and let the right leg flow down to meet the left leg and roll onto your back. And just pause for a moment to reflect, to feel the difference from side to side. To notice the effectiveness of a spiritual, physical practice of yoga that empowers us to feel more grounded, more centered, more open. Stretch your legs out long, flex the feet, press the heels, knees, and thighs to the ground. Bend the left leg in, take the strap across the ball of the left foot. If you're on the left side of the room, you might scooch over to the right so that you have the room to extend yourself to the left. We'll start by extending the left heel to the sky, and then put a little bend in your left leg. Bend your left leg and lift your head and shoulders up and walk your hands higher up towards your foot as high as you can. Bring your right heel, everyone, more to the midline and press the, nice Jay, press the right heel, knee, and thigh to the ground. And now give yourself just as much slack as you need, the bare minimum, to rest your head down and to draw your shoulders back down to earth, to open the chest, the lungs, the heart. Take both sides of the strap in your left hand and open your left leg out to the left and push your left foot through the strap. If y'all, everything kind of starts to tip to the left, press the right heel down more, the right knee, the right thigh. Think twist your torso to the right. Can you sort of knit the right side of the rib cage to the left side of your rib cage to the right hip, so you stay centered, and like root the right shoulder towards the ground. Press the head down. Breathe into what can't be seen but can be felt. And what of the feelings that are present do you want to feel more of? On the inhale, draw the leg up through center. Take both sides of the strap into the right hand, and super slow motion, as though we're enjoying the journey, let the left leg traverse the midline. There's a lot to feel and see along the way. The left leg comes all the way over to the right. You can stay right here. You could even use the left hand to tack the left hip crease away from you, sort of tack the left hip crease towards the bottom foot. And then you could scooch the right leg back to the left and bend the bottom leg, heel to butt cheek, and with your left hand, find your right foot. You know that phrase, don't get it twisted? I think that, like, again, part of the fluency in yoga is to like be so twisted that we twist the body in order to untwist the mind. We heat the body to cool the mind. Feel the twists, the turns of the interior landscape. Push the foot through the strap as you twist to the left. Kick the back foot, kick the bottom foot back, like you're trying to split the legs, like Hanuman making a great leap of faith. Release the bottom foot first. Then rather than hoisting that top leg through center, just release the strap and let the top leg float down to meet the bottom leg. Roll onto your back. Stretch your legs out long and reach the arms overhead. Take a deep, full breath in. Let it percolate inside. And exhale with an audible sigh, a release. 2 more just like this at your own pace, but slow down your slow. Maximize your fullness. Optimize your release, your emptiness. At the bottom of your next release, hug your knees in towards your chest and wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself the sweetest, most loving embrace. wrap yourself around yourself. And as you do so, scan your body with your awareness to see if there's any final poses, movements, or adjustments that you need or want to make in order to feel completely prepared to fully relax. I recommend adding or removing layers, adding or removing props, a few breaths in happy baby. You can let your hair down, put your glasses safely off to the side. Oh my God, the mic was totally tucked into my shirt. Sorry, guys. And as you're ready, spread yourself out on the altar of the earth. Find refuge. Take shelter in the lap of the earth. This is what the Buddha did in the moments leading up to his enlightenment. And the serpent comes to protect him. And he calls the earth to bear witness to his enlightenment. Let the earth hold you and support you. And can you allow yourself to feel more held and supported? Can you feel more held and more supported? Look for the breath and allow the breath to breathe you. This requires little to no effort. The breath breathes you. We often think of ourselves as a body with a breath. For the time being, here and now, can you see yourself or feel yourself, imagine yourself, however your brain works? Imagine you're a breath with a body. And the body settles towards stillness so that the breath can flow more deeply, more fully, more freely in you, as you, through you, and from you. And in so doing, each and every inhale ignites the heart, fans the indwelling light of the heart. Each and every inhale makes the heart, the light of the heart, bigger and brighter. And as the inner body bathes in the light and the splendor of the heart, the exhales cast the light of the heart far and wide. Bathing in breath, bathing in the splendor of the heart. Can you feel the indwelling light of the heart more deeply, more fully? Can we feel love for humanity more deeply, more fully? Invite a deeper breath in, a longer breath out, a steady gaze inward. And as you deepen the breath, again notice how naturally your breath deepens you. The breath ignites the heart. The splendor of your heart informs, illuminates, and inspires the faculty of your mind, the agency of your body, so that your mind, your thoughts more clearly reflect the splendor of the heart, and so that your body, your actions, your feelings more clearly reveal the light of the heart. Let the spirit that you are begin to gently awaken the body that you have, wiggling toes and fingers, stretching through your arms and your legs. And as the spirit that you are awakens the body that you have, let the body that you have affirm, embrace, and adorn the spirit that you are, literally wrapping yourself around yourself. For this is and you are the gift of life. In the ideas, if not exact words, of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we need leaders in love with humanity. And I see each and every single one of us as the leader in our own story. And the more that each one of us can be and fall in love with humanity, the more we give those around us permission and an opportunity to do the same in their story. And it ripples outward forever and ever. Can we feel more love for humanity? Imagine that. And recall to mind and heart what it is in particular that you want to feel more of today, tomorrow, and the day after. Hold this in your heart of hearts. And when you're ready, bend your legs, feel both feet on the ground, and just take a moment to call yourself down to earth and back to reality. A moment to visualize the way in which you stretch yourself in this practice of yoga into the activities of your life and the positive impact this time together has that you have on those in the world around you. Imagine that. And then rolling to one side, press through strong arms. Find your way into a comfortable seated posture with your eyes closed and your hands folded before your heart. And Anjali Mudra, a final gesture of sincere self-reverence and courageous self-offering, a gesture that acknowledges the presence of the heart and that places the voice of the true teacher, the callings of our hearts before us as a guide and an offering in all we do. In so doing, bringing more virtuosity to those in the world around us. Let's seal in our time together today. Let's invoke blessings for ourselves and each other, and let's send the voices of our hearts out far and wide to wherever you know it is the most needed, particularly to our left coast today, in the form of a final Om. And again, feel free to join into the collective sound or let it wash over you. Deep breath in. As you bow to your heart with all my heart, I bow to every one of you. Thank you so much for your practice and your presence. And in this crowd, for all that you are and all that you do every single day of this life. Thank you all. Thanks, everyone. Announcements, there's like a pranayama practice group starting at the end of the month. It's Tuesday mornings virtual with Adriana. think there's restorative yoga coming up. Gonna need that. Any sound baths coming up, Elizabeth? February 21st, not too soon to mark your calendar. Put it on there, something to look forward to. Alex and I are leading a yoga retreat to Greece in July. I just booked our tickets. I'd love for you to join us. If you have questions, feel free to reach out. We'll do an info session for that in February. For those who are attending and those who are curious and have questions. Again, that's purposefully something to look forward to. Anyone else have any announcements locally? Yeah, an announcement in the house. Oh my God, that's awesome. So you get to buy the box, and it has so there's, for folks at home, there's a bake sale. Did you say 135? It'll be 35 cookies, $100 for the box, but all proceeds go. It's 35 cookies, $100 for the box, and it's from the best bakers in Philly, and all proceeds are going to women in hospitality in LA. Did I get that right? Where do we find the box for sale? sisterlylovephilly.com. Go to sisterlylovephilly.com and buy yourself and your neighbors and your teachers, your kids' teachers, a box of cookies. I'm going to go get like 4 boxes. Thank you.
If you love warm-ups, I teach Wednesday morning here at 7 a.m.
I loved warm-ups.